Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and I am outside a commercial property where I have been having a lot of issues with site plans, change of uses, different things with the county. And this is a property I've talked about many times before, and this is actually one of the first videos I took of the property after I first bought it, just showing what it looked like then. And it needed some work. It was a big mess. And the previous seller actually helped me clean it up some, but we had to do a lot of work cleaning it up as well. So I'm just going to give an update on where I stand with the county, what they have been saying lately, and some other issues and people I've had to bring into this as well to try and get some kind of resolution and hopefully keep the tenants in the property. That's what the big issue is the tenants in the property. So love seeing new subscribers. We'll have many more updates on this property too. And the laundromat, car wash I just bought, the liquor store, mini store is doing fantastic, and our other commercial, multifamily, and residential properties that we've got. All right. So the county has been difficult with this situation, but the current tenant has also not made it easy either. So he rented this whole back space, and he's got lots of trucks back here. The main tenant here is a diesel mechanic, which is what this place was rented to shortly before I bought it. And they're allowed to have trucks back here, pretty much do what you want in this back lot. But he keeps putting trucks in the front lot over and over again. I've told him he can't have those out there at least 4 times, and they keep showing up over and over again, which does not help me with the county because I'm trying to show the county that we're cleaning up the property, we're working with them, we're trying to comply with what they're asking. But if the tenant keeps parking his trucks out there, that kind of makes it look like I'm not helping, he's not helping. So we've had some difficulty. So this is what the front lot looks like right now. The side by Billy, that's our neighbor, is pretty clean. We've cleaned up a bunch of trash. We've fixed the dumpsters. And he keeps parking trucks out front. And we told him, hey, if you need to park a truck out here for a little while, if they're coming to, see you, if you're moving trucks around, that's fine. But he's obviously got disconnected trailers and all kinds of semis parked out here again. And that just is not allowed and is not a good look for our property. But here's back to what it looked like before. And yes, it needed just a fair amount of work when I bought it. And we did do quite a bit to get it working well, cleaned up everything, and tried to make it a nice place for the diesel mechanic. And we thought the diesel mechanic was okay. So here's where the whole problems came from. One, I bought the property for $865,000 last year, which was a great deal. We cleaned it up. We put up the place up for rent. The diesel mechanic saw it. We came up to an agreement. He moved in, thought everything was good. Then we rented to a auto detailer in the front building. Got that deal done. That seemed to be okay too. We had another building that was vacant. We rented that to a church. It was zoned for a church, no problem whatsoever. We thought that was good as well. Well, then the county came along and sent a violation letter saying that we were violating a site plan that had been completed in 2014, and that site plan said only a grocery store could be in the building that we rented to a church, which seemed very weird. It was zoned for it, but the site plan had limited that only a grocery store could be in there. And this site plan was designed by the previous owner to make a truck washout facility, which he never did. He did a few things from the site plan, but never completed the site plan to have a truck washout facility. So I didn't think the site plan was really limiting the property since it was never completed. They never made a truck washout facility, but apparently everything in it is still binding for what tenants can be in there. So I met with the county, talked with them, had numerous emails back and forth. They recommended I use an engineer to help with my site plan amendment because I have to amend the site plan to allow a church to be in the building. And since I already rented to them, I want to try and let them stay and keep renting that church. And the diesel mechanic's wife also wants to have a car dealership in one spot because the place I rented to the detailer stopped paying rent, moved out, and so that spot is vacant as well. But that spot is only approved for a detailer, car mechanic. It's not approved for a car dealership. So we'd have to go through a site plan amendment to do a car dealership as well, which I can understand. There's many more limitations for sales and car dealerships and things like that. It's not strictly approved in the zoning like these other uses are. So I met with this engineer. We went out there. We found a French drain that was supposed to be installed, some other stuff that was supposed to be done. Talked to the county, showed them what was there, what wasn't there, asked them for some more guidance. And every time we talked to the county, they kind of gave us some different answers. And we had been in constant communication with them, either myself or this engineer. And then I got a warning letter again from the county saying I wasn't complying, I was taking too long. They were seeing almost no progress from me, and they gave me 30 days to complete a site plan amendment. Well, the previous 9 years they hadn't, complied. But as soon as I bought the property, they've been giving me a very tight time frame to comply with this, even though we had been complying and trying to figure this out. And we also had a meeting that we didn't know was a pre-application meeting. It turns out it was a pre-application meeting for the site plan, but we were given almost no notes. So we're trying to figure out exactly what to do. And along this whole route and journey, the county had said they figured this out. They were coming after me because of my YouTube videos that showed I rented it to a church. And every time I talk to them, they bring up my YouTube videos. And I could tell they really don't like me having YouTube videos. And I don't know why, because I've always been way more reserved when talking about this situation than I could have been. We'll put it that way. I could have been much harsher, but I was trying to reel myself in a little bit and not cause much drama. And every time I've met with them, they bring up the YouTube videos, and I'm just kind of thinking, I'm not lying. I'm talking about the process, what's required of me. Why are they so upset about my YouTube video? This is what they're doing. So if they're upset with my YouTube videos, shouldn't they be upset with their processes? Because that's all I'm talking about is the process they're making us go through. So it seems kind of strange that they would be upset about them, since that's what they're doing. And anyway, so I thought we were making progress. I was getting a bid together to do my site plan amendment with this engineer they had suggested. And I thought it was going to be about $600 to $1,200 for him to help with it, get the planning put together. And I was waiting for that bid to come to me. And then the bid came, and it was $9,000. I was like, what is going on? And I talked to him about it, and he said, well, I had a meeting with the county again, and they changed all the requirements that they wanted. So this reflects all the new requirements I have to do for the site plan amendment. And maybe it'll be less than that, but I just wanted to put in, I had to increase my bid because of all the requirements. I'm like, oh my God. And then he mentioned, he's like, yeah, they also mentioned you keep making YouTube videos about them. And I'm like, so I don't know if he just did that because he doesn't want the job anymore, or if it really is because of what the county had said. Who knows? But now something else happened along the way. He also mentioned that not only do we have to do a change of use and site plan amendment for the church building, but now they want a change of use for the diesel mechanic shop, because the diesel mechanic was only approved for a truck transportation facility, not a diesel mechanic. So we have to do a change of use for that building. And in order to do a change of use, we have to hire an architect who will do a code survey that goes through all the code updates that have to be done based on current code in all the buildings on the property. And that even though they said I didn't need to do this in our first meeting, a different building inspector had decided that we did need to do that. And so I have to get that done right away, or they're going to shut down the whole property and stop the tenants from doing business. This is what my engineer had told me. So at that point, I was obviously very frustrated. And I had, sent the county a response to their warning letter stating how I felt, without, censoring a lot of it, as being very professional, but explaining the whole situation and everything. And then they suggested we do another pre-application meeting to see everybody and talk it over and go through this again. And I have since talked to an architect who helped me out on some of my other projects and to see what he thinks of it. And so he said he might be able to help, but he's kind of in and out of the state, but he would get back to me. So that's where we stand right now. I just asked for another pre-application meeting. and hopefully they'll give me some, solid notes on exactly what to do, kind of before they said, well, here's some suggestions of hiring an engineer who can help you do most of it. And they hadn't given me, we did another pre-application meeting to build a property in a different property, and had given me pages and pages of notes of exactly what I needed to do and how to do it. And I never got that this time. So maybe I will get this time, and it can help us just put together an amended site plan much faster. We'll see. And then I also have a plan, which is actually Nikki's suggestion. We'll see if this works or not, or maybe the county will just shut this down immediately, to come up with a plan of my own of like, here's the timelines of what I'm going to do, when I'm going to do it, and what I think is feasible. They want me to lay down gravel on the whole lot and do some different things, and it takes months and months to reserve companies to do that because they're so backed up, and it's just not something you can do right away. We've done quite a bit of work already cleaning up and everything, but you just can't do a lot of this in 30 days. So I'm going to come up with a plan on what hopefully we can do, and maybe they'll help us out and give us a little bit of leeway. I talked to some people about this situation, and I won't mention any names, but they had said, the county is not supposed to come down on businesses unless there's a complaint. Unless someone complains about them, they're not supposed to just go after businesses who they think are not in perfect compliance with everything. And the county had said, unless they left something out, that nobody had complained about me, but that it was from my YouTube videos that they were able to do this. So the person I talked to said, well, maybe they're considering that some kind of complaint from within the county, or they can file a complaint because they saw your YouTube channel. So it's still not super clear on what is allowed and not allowed and what they're supposed to be doing. But sure seems funny how it's zoned for these businesses, it's set up for these businesses, but then they want us to spend tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars to allow these businesses to be in there on top of the work we've already done to make the property nicer and cleaner. So we'll see how all of this goes, how it evolves, what the architect says. I'm not sure about the engineer side of it right now. That's been very frustrating. And I know some people suggested I talk to a lawyer before. I actually did kind of have a call into a lawyer I know and have not been able to touch base with him yet. So I don't know about that, if that will help or make things worse. A lot of times I've talked with lawyers and discussed different subjects with them, and they can be very non-committal on what the law is and what will happen, on how much they can help, and charge quite a bit of money for those non-committal answers. So we'll just take it slowly for now, see what happens, and then if things get even worse than this, maybe we'll have to talk to a lawyer, bring in some different things from that aspect. So still working on this property. We still do have the tenants in there for now. Trying to get it compliant and do what the county wants, but it's difficult because things keep changing and their requirements keep changing. So we'll see how all this works out, I guess. All right, so that's my update for the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Just want to celebrate the local governments we have. And hopefully, I do love the United States. It's a wonderful country and tons of opportunity here. But I think there is definitely some room for improvement in some certain aspects as well. All right. Love the likes, love the comments, love the shares. Love seeing new subscribers as well. We'll have more updates on this property or other properties coming up soon. And take care.